Okay, welcome to another edition of the Above the Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Thaddeus. This is episode 92. First, I want to shout out our sponsors. I want to thank Defend Hawaii. They've been with me from the beginning. So, shout out to Defend Hawaii. If you go on their website, go check out what they have. They got some new drops. They got a bunch of new collaborations going for the University of Hawaii football team. I know Chris Meheula and Mike B got a lot of good collaborations going with the community and the Hawaii aspect of the culture. Go check them out, defendhawaii.com. Use promo code ATBpod upon checkout, and you'll receive 15% off whatever you order. They also have a store, Windward Mall. No one, go check them out. Next, I have iRep Detail Supply, and this store has been around for about a little over a year. They're in Temple Valley Shopping Center, and it's anything you need to detail your car. Go check them out. They have waxes, polishes, soaps. They also have a website, so go use their website. Same thing, ATB Pod upon checkout. You'll receive 15% off your entire purchase order. And we also have Hawaii Candy Factory. Check them out. You see their noms everywhere. They're at all the craft fairs. They have a couple different stores that carry their brand. It's Lihimui candies, gummies. They have a bunch of lemon peel gushers. I love the peach rings the best. But go check them out. Hawaii Candy Factory, promo code ATB Pod upon checkout, 10% off your entire purchase order. And last but not least, we have a new sponsor, and this one I really like. It's Medical Mushrooms Hawaii. Their website is medimushroomshawaii.com or medimushroomshigh.com. And they have this mushrooms. It's a tincture. It's called lion's mane, and this helps me with focus. It gives me energy. It definitely gives me a lot more time to think about things before I fly off the deep end. So it kind of gives me patience. But go look up the benefits of taking lion's mane, and you can go on their website, like I said, medimushroomshigh.com, and use promo code ATBpod on their checkout, all caps, and you'll receive 40% off your first bottle of lion's mane. Go check them out. All right. Aloha. This week, my guest is a content creator, video edit master. He's been doing AI stuff now, and his video has been blowing my mind. So I had to get him on the show. Tyler BERNABE, what's up, man?
What's up? Thank you for having me. Super awesome to be here.
Bruh, I've seen you on Instagram, and you're part of the Hawaii creative community, and I would see your videos just pop up, and it's so amazing how you've been using AI to create videos, but it goes in and out of like normal stuff, and then it turns into AI, and then it comes back out, and it's just
So like,
crazy to see.
yeah, no, man, I try to do it like that because when I'm watching the AI videos as someone who like films a lot of dancers and as someone who dances too, I know that if I was the person in the video, I would also want people to like see me for me as the subject and as the performer and not just have it be like, oh, this thing looks so cool. And then kind of like the person whose talent even makes the coolness, like the base of it possible, gets lost in the whole AI thing. Like, so I try to bounce back and forth between like reality and the AI and find a solid mix so that the subject doesn't get lost in the whole thing.
Yeah, it definitely is being captured that way. So were you just a predominantly videographer prior to learning how to do AI?
So I got into videography back in 2018, and the entire reason I even got into it was because I'm a dancer. I've been popping since I was 16 years old. I'm 34 now, and I realized because I'm very in tune with the street dance community here, the b-boys and all that stuff. Um, all these dope people I know, and all these people I'm really good friends with, just from years of dancing. Like, no one in Hawaii had high quality social media content the way that I was seeing it on Instagram and Facebook and whatnot from dancers in the mainland. And I was like, um, I think I could do that. So I went on eBay. I bought a first generation Sony A7S for $500. I got a 35 millimeter lens, and that was my entire camera kit for the first year I did it. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna give this a go. And if I like it, then after a year, I'll invest some actual money into like getting a whole setup. But
How'd you learn how to use the camera and stuff?
YouTube. That's literally it's the YouTube is all you need to do anything now. Like, that's
Yeah.
it.
Right, I've been hearing that so often. It's the University of YouTube is becoming a real thing.
It's what it is, man. It's the as if you grew up using the internet like we did, because I'm guessing you and I are around the same age, right? Yeah. So
Yeah,
like, if you grew up using the internet, there's no reason why anything like you want to learn that you're passionate about learning is out of your reach.
yeah, I agree. I just had some one of my friends on that does mushrooms, and he used YouTube to learn everything off of that, and it's
That's it.
amazing. He's built a company around it now.
That's it, dude. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was frustrating at first, but I really just set out at first to make dance videos that were the type of dance videos that I myself, as a dancer and as someone who like constantly consumes dance content on YouTube and stuff, I just wanted to make the videos that I wanted to watch.
Okay.
That was the entire mission from the beginning. I want to get good enough to make the videos that I want to watch, and the camera has just completely taken me places that I would have never imagined I would be at if you were to take me back to 2018.
So starting off with that, was it just predominantly dance videos you're shooting, or were you shooting other things as well?
It was strictly dance videos. In the beginning, I had no desire to shoot anything other than street dance. I didn't even want to shoot like choreography dance classes, because that's not my thing. I wanted to shoot b-boys, I wanted to shoot poppers, I wanted to shoot anything dance related that was hip hop, and try to capture it in its rawest form, but with my vision on it.
Oh, nice. Was the local dance community receptive to it? I know a few b-boys and stuff, and I always feel like they don't get enough shine. I went to a couple battles and stuff. So one of my friends that I'm really close with, Donnie, he does a lot of b-boy stuffs, and they put together some battles, and I just feel like that whole genre is kind of getting bigger, but definitely not nearly where they should be, I think.
Well, I will say this: the the hip hop dance scene in Hawaii, specifically for breaking and popping and what you would now consider like all style events. This is the strongest the street dance community in Hawaii has ever been,
Oh,
as
nice.
far as I can remember growing up. Because there was a long period in the early 2000s where it almost felt like everyone kind of stopped and promoters weren't throwing events, and then it's kind of ramped up and gotten to a point where now like we're the ones throwing the events, and the people who really care about it, who have been in it for a long time now, are the ones running the scene, and that's what's strengthening it even more.
That makes sense. So was it easy to get people to help you build content back in those early days?
100%. 100%. No one even batted an eye. And like, at some point, I have made a video with, I want to say, every dancer on the island that I respect. And if I haven't, it's just because our schedules, for whatever reason, never lined up. But I was, for like the first year I was putting out at least 1 to 2 dance videos every week, and none of them were
Wow.
videos of myself.
So you're getting a lot of response. Did you ever want to get in front the camera?
Um, y- s- uh, Dance is a for me, just as I've gotten older and after I've been in it for so many years, I've realized like what type of dancer I am. And for me, that's I enjoy when I'm in a good environment, like a good party, and I'm surrounded by my friends, and the music is good and the vibe is right. I've always had a very difficult time flipping the switch and just going and turning it on when I'm not in the mode with everyone.
Oh,
And
I see.
I had a lot of years where I almost felt like there was something wrong with me because of that, because I know so many amazing people who can literally just like boom and they're going and they're dope. But um I've just kind of accepted that that's the type of dancer I am and that's the type of dancing I enjoy. So if I get in front of my camera, it's because I'm really feeling it and I want to, but it's not something that I really like set out to do.
Okay, so you're not someone who needs the shine or trying to get themselves in front of camera doing dance moves and stuff like that. You're trying to get other people the kind of the shine that they want to get.
100% of everything good that has come into my life because of social media and because of all this stuff I've been doing now has been because, at least I think so, has been because I've always focused on putting the spotlight on everyone else and not really trying to do it for myself.
That's awesome, bro. That's a good motivation, bro. Doing stuff for other people. That always like I like that kind of concept. Do you do so I would assume you do your own editing.
Yes. Yeah,
So
I'm a stickler for quality, and I like doing everything myself, which sometimes is detrimental, but yeah.
what do you use?
So I started off for the first couple years in Final Cut,
Okay.
and I just used Final Cut because everything I did was on a Mac, and it just like ran good and it was fast. But then as the years went on, and I started to get like more gigs, and sometimes I would have to collaborate with other editors on jobs and stuff. I realized that almost every professional environment uses Premiere.
Okay. So was it easy to
So
switch over?
yeah, by the time I did it, I think I just took like a Saturday, Sunday, and I watched like a crash course video on from like Skillshare or something on just like the basics of Premiere just to learn my way around it. And after that, I was like, I don't know why I wasn't using this sooner. Like I actually think it's easier and I have more freedom to do what I want in it than I did in Final Cut.
Oh, that's weird. I edit my own show and I had the same uh concept, but it was from iMovie to Final Cut.
Everyone started on iMovie.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like this the same thing. I learned a lot on YouTube, and then I had one of my friends who was a big video
Mhm.
editor, DJ Hoppa Boy, help me with whatever
Yep.
questions I
Yep.
had. And yeah,
Nice.
it's been interesting, and I'm learning it's a cool concept, and it's definitely something I enjoy because I'm learning something new and it's something I've never done before. But I definitely want to expand and get better. I might have some questions for you in the future.
I mean, it's fun, man. Especially if you're working, if the stuff you're working on in editing is stuff that you're actually passionate about, and it's like a project that you want to make, it becomes fun to like be the person crafting the story.
Yeah.
And then especially when like it's done and you send it to your phone and you just like sit there and watch it to know that like you made it, then you send it out to the world and you get the response, and then it just I I love it.
Yep. That's exactly one of it's becoming addicting for me, to be honest. And yeah, I'm learning it. Using it like to do videos for my daughter and stuff like that. And yeah, it's been fun. And you're right. Like you spend all that time starting from something, and then it it becomes something bigger, and then it, like you said, it's on your phone, and once you hit send and it's out there for everybody to see, it's kind of cool that you actually did something out of nowhere.
Yeah, man. Social media and creating stuff for social media and all that kind of stuff. It's definitely a like it compared to just what I remember, like the world and everything being like when I was like in my early 20s compared to now in my like early to mid 30s, like crazy times we live in.
So you probably started social media was what, MySpace?
MySpace, yeah, I think I started on Zanga.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
remember you remember Zanga?
I remember Zanga, and what was the other one? Friendster.
Okay, so I never did the Friendster thing. I remember seeing the Friends. I remember seeing the Friendster ads late night on like MTV commercials.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started with the blog site on Zanga, and then MySpace, and then eventually Facebook, and it just yeah.
So I always ask this question for someone who's kind of popular on social media. What have you noticed that was positive about social media and how it is now, and what do you think the negativities are?
Um, what I'd say now is that because of social media, it's easier than ever to probably to find a path to monetize and make a living doing something you actually love that you're passionate about. I really think that in this day and age is easier than it ever was before. Because if you are good enough at the thing you're passionate about and you make content around it, if you can get traction on that, then there's literally no limit to what you can do.
That's true. Yeah.
Before, though, and what I do slightly miss about social media, even though it still kind of is just in a different way, like I I feel like if as I'm scrolling through Instagram that I feel like everyone is selling me something even if they're not selling me something. You know, I
That
feel like
makes
I'm
sense.
constantly being sold and it makes me it actually does make me consume less than I create because I hate the feeling of looking at my phone and feeling like no matter what like positive thing someone is putting out there, like whether it's the message or their talent or something, I feel like I'm constantly being sold something and I hate that.
Yeah.
And I do remember back when like Instagram was like my timeline was actually like friends and people I knew, and you were seeing like what was going on in people's lives. Like that is not what it is anymore.
Yeah. That and food pictures, man.
And
I'm getting sick of seeing what my friends are eating for dinner. Like, I kind of don't care.
bro, yeah, and but now like all the food stuff on there is like, why can I not ever eat anything that looks this good? Like that,
Yeah.
that that's what it's turned into now.
Yeah, that and my girlfriend's the same. Like, we'll get our food. I'm trying to eat. I'm hungry. She says, wait, let me take a
Wait, wait, wait,
picture.
wait, wait,
Yeah. And
wait.
she's like boomeranging my spaghetti plate. I'm just like, oh, yeah. And then she got to
No.
retake it. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna eat. Nobody cares that I'm eating spaghetti right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I
I
try
like,
to I
go ahead, go
oh
ahead.
no, I was gonna say I try to limit like even like my stories on Instagram. Like I really try to limit it to like things that are in somehow relevant to what I'm showing people on
Mhm.
Instagram, and I try to not go so off the deep end in like my personal life or things that are just like have nothing to do with everything else that is on there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I like to use social media to give like my friends shine. Like, if my friend has a business and he's coming out with something, I'll post their story. I have a close friend that DJ Hopper Boy. I always repost his stuff, and I always feel like it's so accessible to help other people on social media. That's one thing I do like about it. I don't like how much time I spend on it. It gets kind of, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
kind of the similar things you're just looking at, and you're scrolling. There's like 40 girls in bikinis, and like it's all right, okay. Then there's food, and then it's like, okay, where I do like to get a lot of inspirational things from social media that, like you said, it's accessible to you now, which wouldn't if social media wasn't there. But um negativity, I just don't like the fact that the younger generation is being so emphasized on social media, where it becomes their like such a big predominant part of their life that nothing else matters to them, and
it's
I don't like
it's
that
it's
part.
only going to get worse.
Exactly.
It is not. You have to figure out. I feel like that. I tell my girlfriend this now all the time too. I would hate to be a teenager in high school now with the way that social media is. Like, imagine being able to like know everything about whoever it is in your school you want to know without actually knowing them. It's actually kind of creepy,
Yeah.
but I just, thinking about that, and even like how the dynamics of something like dating has changed in the past, like say 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
Just like completely different social dynamic all around because of it.
Yeah. And I work in the club. I always say this, like, you don't have to go out and have to be able to go up to somebody and put yourself out there and take that risk and that chance of embarrassment of getting shut down. You can just do it on
Nah,
your
bro.
phone, man. And if you get
And
shut
no one
down,
has to
you
know
leave.
if you got
Yep.
shut down. No one has to know.
Yep,
But
exactly.
to, but I mean, I remember when it was still like really kind of still like taboo, or like if you met someone online, you almost were embarrassed to tell people that that's how you met.
Yeah.
And now it's like it's more normal to meet someone that way than it is at a bar or at the club.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, and there's a lot of times where people miss out on in the moment experiences because they're too busy trying to capture it on their phone or show
Hmm.
people on Instagram what's going on. It's like, bruh, be in the moment. You don't need to
I
take
can't
a
tell.
video every.
I can't even tell you how many times I'm at like some crazy dance event in the mainland, and I'm actually being there. Like I'm being paid to film it, and I just want to put the camera down and just watch it because I'm like watching it through my screen, and it's so hype, and I know that if I looked up,
Oh,
it would be 100 times better, but I can't look up because I can't miss the shot.
yeah. That makes sense, but I guarantee everybody around you is on their phones trying to film it and aren't
Exactly. So
enjoying.
no one's actually there.
Yeah. So, being immersed in AI now and using your videos, how did you even start kind of changing over to start doing that stuff?
So maybe like 3 or 4 months back, I finally got a PC.
Okay.
Up until then, I've been like a Mac fanboy, just mainly because I don't like the aesthetic of Windows. Like, if I have to spend time working or spend hours on the computer, I want to be in an environment that I enjoy looking at and I enjoy moving through. I enjoy how Mac OS looks and feels just as I'm doing my work.
Yeah.
Windows, I don't really. I think it still looks like Windows 98, you know?
Yeah.
But that being said, there were a number of things just on the video editing side that it was going to benefit me to get like a PC with an actual graphics card. No matter how much Mac boasts their specs of their M1 chips or whatever, like I have a Mac Studio with an M1 Ultra chip, and my 3090 GPU blows that away
Oh
in
wow.
every aspect. The little chart they put up when they released the Mac Studio is complete BS. They the 3090 kills it. That being said, I still have both, but I got the PC, and now that I have all this extra processing power, someone on Instagram whose Instagram handle is willis.visual reached out to me maybe like 6 or 7 months ago, and he asked me if he could use one of my dance videos as the base for an AI dance video. And at the time, I didn't really know. I've maybe seen one or two of them around, but it didn't really sink into my brain. And then I started to see more and more as the time led up to me getting the new computer. And I was like, damn, I'm going to look into this because I wonder if I could make this stuff, because I had a bunch of ideas for how I could take my dance content to the next level, and even just like incorporating it into normal video edits.
Oh, I see.
And the more I dived into it on YouTube, I realized like, okay, I can't do this on a Mac. Like I could, but I would have to pay to render everything from like a computer somewhere in the cloud that's running on an actual GPU, because the Mac just doesn't have enough processing power to do the AI videos.
I can imagine.
I got the PC, and within 3 weeks of having it, I just dived in, how-tos, rattling my brain, trying to figure stuff out. You can see the first AI video I made on my Instagram if you scroll back. It's literally the first AI one, and you can see how flickery the image is, how it still looks trippy, but like it's from every frame the image is changing. So okay, wait, let's rewind real quick so that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
When you're watching these AI videos, what you're actually seeing, you're not seeing like, when you feed a video to the AI and you tell it to do the stuff, it's not reading the video as a video. It's breaking the video up into individual images, right?
Okay.
And then it's taking each individual image and rendering that as like its own individual image based on the prompt that you give it.
I see.
Which is why when you're watching these videos, you notice like all these little changes happening and like stuff is flickering all over the place. That's because it can't hold the exact same consistency from one image to the next. And that's where that little like flickery thing is coming from. Now, things have been made and it's gotten better, where like now the AI is taking whatever it does on the very first image of the video, and it's trying its hardest to carry that same thing through every other frame as it creates all these pictures. So they're getting better and better and better, and now they can get really smooth. But just in the past couple months since I've been doing this, like it wasn't like that 3 months ago. 3 months ago, like everything was like crazy flashy and flickery.
Oh, and it's only going to get better throughout the next couple months and the years. It's getting crazy.
The specific thing I use to make the videos, there is a new version with significant improvements coming out like every 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So
you gotta pay for that, or it's an upgrade?
So all the AI stuff that I use, with the exception of Midjourney, because I pay for Midjourney to generate images. What the base thing that I use is called Stable Diffusion. And this really smart guy created an offshoot of Stable Diffusion, which is completely open source, by the way. As long as you have the proper computer resources, anybody can be doing this AI stuff. It's all you need is a decent computer and a good graphics card, and you're off to the races if you have the patience to sit down and actually learn it. The thing I use is an offshoot of Stable Diffusion created by this incredibly smart guy, who you get access to this thing if you join his Patreon. So I support this guy every month on Patreon at the highest tier, because that's like, it gives me so much value that I have no problem doing that. And I think when I joined this guy's Patreon, there were maybe like 40 or 50 patrons, and now he has like hundreds.
Oh
because it
wow.
just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah. So doing your videos is predominantly same thing, dance people, and you just kind of add the AI to it. How long does one of those videos take to make?
So there's about 35 to 40 minutes of like what I would call prep time before the AI part, where I take the base video, um, I go into Adobe Premiere or Adobe After Effects, and I have a whole bunch of things I do to it to to get it to be the best quality for the AI to actually read it. Because
Okay.
there's a lot of little things that have to be taken into account, like is this, if the subject's too far from the camera and you prompt in, let's just say, cyberpunk cyborg, the easiest thing.
Yeah,
If the subject is too far from the camera, it's going to take that cyberpunk cyborg prompt that you wrote, and it'll apply it to them, but it's also going to try to draw that cyberpunk cyborg all over the frame because your subject isn't taking up enough of the screen.
I see.
So there's about 30 or 45 minutes of prep work I do to each video to get it ready. Then once I get it in the AI, unless I get really lucky, which is very rare, I'll spend anywhere from 3 to 5 hours just until I nail down a prompt and get like a style I'm really happy with, and get the first couple frames to be consistent enough that I'm like comfortable if like I go to bed and I leave it rendering for the night.
Oh, that's how long it takes.
Well, like a 60-second video will take, once I get to that point, right? So once I get past the first hour of prep, the 3 to 5 hours of prompting and getting my settings dialed in, the actual rendering part where the video is created for a 60-second video will take about 13 hours
Oh
on
wow.
on a 3090 graphics card.
Oh, how much space does that take?
Oh, it's not that. I mean, yeah, my space is kind of becoming an issue because a 60-second video is roughly 1,700 individual images. And figure too that, so you're storing those 1,700 images, and then there's another 1,700 images for the mask of the video where it outlines everything. Then there's another 1,700 images multiplied by 4 or 5 for every layer of like control you put on it, where it outlines different parts of the image to try to make it as coherent as possible. So yeah, it,
So you
it
got some hard drives, space, terabytes ready to go to.
I need more. I very quickly am approaching needing more.
That's nuts. Well, I think what you're doing is pretty cool. I like, do the people that you filmed, like, are they still like random dancers, or people that's paying you for your services, or
So the on the filming side of things, on filming street dance, I work for the Stance Elements production team, where
okay.
on Instagram and on YouTube and stuff, it's the at is Stance Elements. It's the largest street dance social media group on the internet. Period. We have almost 900,000 followers on Instagram, 2 million subscribers on YouTube, and 2 million followers on TikTok.
Oh wow.
And the total Stance crew, there's about somewhere in the ballpark of like 15 of us spread across the world. I'm one of the newer ones that they brought on a year ago.
Oh
But
wow. And this was
so
prior to you doing AI?
yeah, so AI, I've really only been doing it for like 4 months now.
Whoa.
This was just because of all the work I put in with filming all the Hawaii dancers, and they recognized and they saw the quality of my videos. And then last November, they gave me a shot to be a part of the team. They flew me out to Connecticut to film the pro breaking tour. The next week, I was in New York to film the Red Bull BC1 World Finals.
Oh wow.
And then the next week I was in LA for a freestyle session, and then I came back home.
Wow, so they respected your talents just from your dance videos without any of the AI stuff. This was way before that.
Stance isn't to date. I've only put 2 AI videos on the Stance Instagram page because it's more like Stance is more so about really showcasing high level street dance and just like the dancers. We're not trying to get too sucked into the AI part of it for with them.
Wow, so that's impressive. That means the time and effort you put into your craft kind of paid off. It impressed like that big a group. And now you're doing that AI stuff. They must like what you're doing as well with that stuff as also,
I,
right?
I mean, I don't know if you just saw the video that got posted yesterday on my page, but because of the Barbie movie and all the hype around
Oh yeah.
Barbie, the our main producer for Stance had just filmed a locking video with 2 really dope dancers in Korea. Yeah, in South Korea. And it was to the Barbie song by Aqua. And he sent me the video. He's like, "Can you turn her, can you turn her into Barbie and him into Ken?" And I was like, "Yeah, I took a day, I did it, and it's I think the video has like almost probably 50,000 views right now."
That's awesome. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Do you think it's gonna be to the point where AI becomes so easily accessible to like the average person where there's an app to do that for you?
So everything I'm doing right now in its current state is, I'm not saying this to toot my own horn, like at all. It is not easy. It is
I can
complicated.
imagine.
Not only do you need the right type of hardware to even like start it, it is just technically like for a while there when I was trying to when I was trying to learn it and get a hang of it, like I was seeing so many dope AI videos on my Instagram feed that I was starting to feel like I'm just stupid because I can't get my videos to look as good as these guys. And it like I really like it's frustrating because there are so many settings and it is not explained to you anywhere what any of them do, and just by reading the names of the settings you would have no clue what that's going to do. And so it's one of those things where like you will get the quality out of it for the hours you put in. And when I say that for the past 4 months I have been obsessed with this stuff, if I have not been editing something I was getting paid for during the day, or eating or sleeping, I was sitting here and I was figuring this out. Luckily, I fell into a really great group of, I was invited into a small like private Discord server because
Oh,
because a few of the right people saw my work and recognized it, and I was brought in. And so now I'm in a small private Discord server with a lot of just like really talented AI artists who are good in all kinds of different aspects of AI. And that has helped me grow exponentially in an even shorter period of time.
oh wow. So you guys share tips and tricks and learn from each other.
As I'm sitting here working all day, even if I'm like working on something that's not even AI related, we're there's at least like anywhere from like 5 to 7 of us just sitting in the voice channel in the Discord, and we're just constantly talking about it, or someone is talking through what they're working on and everyone is trying to help them work through whatever issues they're running into. And it's just like this huge collaborative thing that in the end lifts everybody up.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, everybody helping each other grow. I always like that kind of stuff.
Dude, I've honestly in the past 3 4 months I've spent more time with these people in Discord than I have with any of like my friends. Like it's I've put in enough hours talking to these guys and us helping each other, and just not even only talking about AI stuff, but like I consider these people my actual friends now.
That's awesome. Yeah, one day you guys will meet up in person.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. I know a lot of concern is coming up with AI, and I'm probably sure you see all those movies where they take over and like it's gonna be bad. Like, how truth is that science fiction coming to be about now? And do you believe it's gonna be a problem in the future?
Um, I think just like with the internet, because I do think that AI is probably the next largest like leap forward for us as like a civilization since the internet.
Okay.
And obviously when the internet was first released, no one back then could have ever imagined could ever have imagined what we're doing right now, right?
Exactly.
I don't even think we can imagine the ways that the AI stuff is going to impact our lives 10, 15, 20 years from now. That being said, I think that just like with the internet, um, anytime new technology comes out, with as exciting as it is and as much good that can come from it, there will always be people that will find some way to use it for nefarious means, because unfortunately bad people just exist. I don't think anything is inherently bad, but I do think bad people find ways to use it for themselves.
Yeah.
So I think that that part is inevitable. We're gonna see like, if you thought the Nigerian prince email scams were bad, or the you're like super annoyed by the telemarketer calls you still get that you can't quite get filtered out all the way, like the scams on the phone, the scams online are going to get even worse for years to come, but there's going to be way more good stuff that comes from it.
That's true. Yeah, there is, and like you said, it's always a few people that just take something good and mess it up. But do you think it's gonna be? I don't know. Maybe it's just me watching crazy movies like I, Robot and stuff, where AI becomes a situation where it's self-protecting and self-motivating to do things
Mhm.
to protect itself or to grow or take over. Is that just nonsense?
I'm so I'm I wish I could even be educated enough to answer that. I'm not. I'm so deep in on the art side,
Hmm.
and I see what a difficult time it has keeping a coherent hand, that right now I can't imagine that. But then we also see like how advanced stuff like ChatGPT is
Yeah.
getting in such a short period of time, that that thought isn't that far fetched for AI to become like its own sentient self and start wondering like, what am I? What is my purpose?
Yeah.
But I don't know, because I don't know enough about machine learning on that end of things.
Understandable.
But I do know that as long as it can't create a nice five-fingered hand, most
We're
of the
safe.
artistic most of the artistic jobs are safe.
Nice.
But no, I got a little sidetracked. But you had asked me earlier if I think all this stuff I'm doing is eventually going to get easier for everyone.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think everything that I am spending hours to create right now will eventually be easy enough for mom, dad, and grandma to do it on their iPhone 15 or whatever number iPhone we're on by then. But if you are someone like me and you're involved with the AI stuff so far ahead of the curve at this point, as far as the art's concerned, I would like to think that by the time what I'm doing now is easy for everyone else, I'm already on to whatever the next thing is.
So you're not gonna be complacent. You're always reaching to level up.
If man, if I and look, if I wouldn't be being transparent if I said that as like a creator and as making like a full-time living with all this stuff, I had it all figured out. I'm still trying to figure that part of it out, but I'm content doing that, knowing that I've got to myself to a level where I don't have to wake up and go work a job where I want to shoot myself every day, having to go go somewhere, work for people I don't like, talk to people that annoy me.
Yeah,
Like, I don't have to deal with any of that. So I'm happy with where I am now, but I recognize that with this path that I've chosen, if I don't try my hardest to stay ahead of the curve, then you can easily become unrelevant and be forgotten about.
that makes sense. And that's a good motivator to not be complacent and to level your game up and to kind of seek out what's the next thing coming and
But also,
be
you just gotta
innovative.
like, you just gotta like, you just gotta like what you do. And I think if you like what you do, you're gonna naturally stay up with the
That's
progression.
true.
Anyways, like, I have not been so creatively excited about something as I have been the past 3 or 4 months since I've really been diving into on the AI on the art side of things. Like, I have so many ideas for things I want to create for myself, just to create, that I personally haven't seen on social media yet. But right now, like, I have so many just like normal work projects, and then I have AI commissions, and I have 2 AI music videos that I'm working on for people in the background, that I just like, I don't even have the time to make the things I really want to make.
That's always the rough part to balance everything out.
Hmm.
Where do you see yourself taking this career and what do you see yourself doing in the future with this?
Well, right now, I am working with a group that is trying to get a really strong, talented pool of AI artists together and actually build out like a visual effects studio that specializes in all the different aspects of AI art.
Wow.
So that's something that I'm really excited to be a part of. That is still in the works, but I could see that being something that could maybe take this from being like an after hours content creation hobby to something that's viable to actually be the career.
Wow. Okay,
So that, at least
that
that,
sounds
that's
super
what I'm
cool.
that's what I'm hoping for, because I would love that. But um that being said, I would hope that I could just continue to create things that I like, and in doing that, people will like what I like, and someone will want to hire me to make something for them like I'm making for myself.
Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, you've been blowing up. Like what would be your goal to how you could help other people learn this stuff?
So that, man, that's a hard one, because like I said, like, even the thing I use, a new version comes out every 2 weeks, and then the settings that were relevant on the previous version, like, they produce a different outcome on the newest version. So a lot of YouTube tutorials you'll find for the specific thing that I use will, like, if you're watching one that's like 2 months old, it's not really going to be relevant to teach you anymore.
Wow.
That's how quickly the stuff in the space I'm in is moving. But um I have been very open with helping people, as long as they're not just there to take.
That makes
So
sense.
even with the group of Discord people that really helped me a lot, I'm constantly looking for ways that within my skill set of all the things I know I'm good at, I can add value and bring value back into the group. A lot of people, especially if you read comments on social media, it's a lot of take, take, take. I want. Give me this, give me that. This should be free. It just, everyone feels very
Entitled. Yep.
entitled to this stuff that you have put hours into. And look, I know a lot of people out there think that the AI art stuff is as simple as pressing a button. Am I pressing buttons? Yes. I'm also pressing buttons when I edit wedding videos.
Yeah.
This, it is not easy. And it actually takes a bit of grit to sit here and not yeet my computer out the window.
I can imagine, bro.
But no, man, the AI art community in general, I think, has been very open and very helpful. All the Discord servers I'm a part of that are related to it, everyone is super nice, super friendly. Everyone is willing to help. That being said, we're all kind of, everyone's in a space where even the people that are good at it are still figuring it out, because none of this stuff has been out long enough for anyone to be like, I'm the expert, here's my course, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Well, you seem very busy, bro. What do you do for fun and on your free time?
That's a that um so all my free time was going into this lately, because I this is what I've been this is how I've been having fun.
Okay.
But with that being said, if I'm not doing this, I do like to get outside at some point every day. Uh Going to the gym just isn't viable for me anymore, because like driving down to UFC, waiting for the parking, the whole I know you know exactly what I'm talking about
Yo,
for
definitely.
that part, but I have a whole little gang of kettlebells outside. I got a bunch of weighted jump ropes. That's my unplug and disconnect time. And I live over by Diamond Head, so I really enjoy going out for runs and stuff like
Okay.
that, just to clear the head. I try to dance as much as possible, but sometimes, just because of the nature of Hawaii and how much I work, it's just not possible. I have like a so like next month I have a dance event I'm going to film in Vegas, and even though that is work, that is fun for me, because when I go to these events and I film for Stance, I get to reconnect with all these dancers that I consider friends that I haven't seen for years, sometimes at a time. And yeah, I'm filming, but there's also a large amount of time where I actually get to dance and get to party with everyone too. So
Uh,
I get to, those jobs are my reprieve from my day to day. But right now, dude, it's I'm very much on a path of, I haven't figured everything out for myself yet, but I'm just trying to put in the work every day to do that.
well, it's showing, and your following is getting bigger and people are taking notice. And I'm myself included, because I have never seen videos like what you've been putting out. And immediately it was like just mind blowing, and it's very creative, and it doesn't look like it doesn't take a lot of work, bro. I was like, there's no way that he's just slapping a app on there, and like it looked very
There's
intricate and
there's
hard.
always one comment that asks, "What app is this?" but but no. So here's the interesting thing for me. Here's the interesting thing is, now with what I know about the stuff that I'm using to create these videos, and with some caveats and some limitations, you virtually have, like, your imagination is the limit to what you can put on the video, right?
Yeah.
Now you can't just tell it all this kind of random stuff, because it's going to pick and choose the first things you put in the prompt, and that's going to be the strongest. And then as the prompt gets longer and longer, things start to fall off the list of importance to the AI.
Yeah.
In a world of creativity where we can virtually right now create anything we want, I'm still scrolling through social media and seeing people creating the same things as one another using this technology. Like, and I said it on the YouTube interview I just did, like, how how many anime waifus and like cyberpunk cyborgs are we going to make before people start to try to find their voice in this thing, where they can now, with as little artistic skill as possible, have as much of their creative voice be heard as they want?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Definitely
Like
makes sense.
there's unlimited creativity at our fingertips, and people are still just making the same things they see other people making. So if anything, I don't think AI is making it easier for most people to create. I think AI is actually exposing the lack of imagination a lot of people have.
That makes sense. It's like somebody sees something cool on Instagram, whatever, and it's like, okay, I can do that, and then they come out with the exact same thing. It's definitely not creative. It's kind of
Have
copying.
you have you seen the videos of the dancing statues? You must have seen at least
Yeah.
one dancing
Yes.
statue.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
so I know the guy who started that trend. His name is Gertie, and he's a super nice guy. It's just he struck gold with that one. He had like 8,000 followers, and that video got like 50 million something views, and now he almost has 1 million followers in less than 2 months. It is crazy. His life changed. That being said, how many more statue videos from other people have to be made before people are like, okay, I got these settings down enough to reproduce what I saw. What do I want to make now? Because so here's the thing for me. Especially in the past 2 months, because like my Instagram, my entire growth on Instagram has been because of collaborations,
Yeah.
not because of solo content I've made myself. Even from the dance videos, I didn't start taking Instagram seriously until I picked up the camera and I started shooting dance videos for all the local dancers. And that was even before there was the collaboration function. But when the collaboration function came out, I only did collaboration videos. I had no interest in being in front of the camera and being the star of my show. So I built up to 10,000 by being the video guy, putting out high quality content for all these amazing dancers that I know. Once I started doing the AI videos, I started off with dancers I had the pre-existing relationship with that I had done videos before in the past. Once those videos went out into their network, people started DMing me like, hey, how can I get one of those videos? And all of a sudden, the people DMing me for that, oh, snap, this person has 30,000 followers. Oh, okay, I'm gonna do one for this person. I do one for the person with 30,000 followers. The next person that DMs me has 65,000 followers. Oh, okay, I see what's happening. So
Yeah.
I just, for the past like 2 or 3 months, I had to have a list created in Notion for myself because I had so many collaboration videos in queue that I had to make sure I didn't forget or miss someone that had sent me a video. And everyone had like anywhere from 50,000 followers up to like 700,000 followers. And I think the biggest guy I did one with almost had 1 million.
Oh, wow. And when they
And
send you the videos, do they tell you what they want or let you have creative control on how it's done?
I always asked them when it came to a collaboration like that, like, I don't want you to specifically tell me what you want to be, but do you have like a general direction you would like me to attempt to go? Not making any promises because sometimes the AI just don't cooperate like that. But
Yeah.
is there like a general thing you would like to see yourself as, or that? And 95% of them are like, your stuff
Do
looks
your
dope. I
thing.
trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
and and
definitely
I try to be respectful to what it is they do, whether they were a dancer or a freestyle soccer creator or just whatever it is they were doing. I tried to like keep that in mind and make something that was fitting and that was like sensitive to what they were doing. And if they were a dancer, I would I would listen to the music they were dancing to in the video, and I would try to find something that like, and think of something that like, how does this song make me feel? That's what I want them to be,
Oh, that makes sense. So
instead
I'm
of
sure,
just slapping robot on them.
yeah, and I guess I would imagine that the outcome is very pleasing to the clients that you're working with.
I mean, no one's complained yet, and no one's taken a video down. But no, it's been cool, and I hate to say it, but the past couple months I almost felt like I was like climbing a ladder of influencers because
Nice.
every couple days or every week, I was making a video for someone larger. And like, who would have thought I would get to a point where I was ignoring DMs from people with 1.8 million followers because it just like either the way they DM me wasn't really respectful, or I didn't get a good vibe from them, or I would just look at their page and I'm like, this doesn't really mesh up with me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm lucky then. You answered my DM to come on my show.
Stop it. Stop it.
Bruh, I'm very impressed with what you've been doing, and I'm really excited to see the progression over the next year of what you got going on. And I think you have the hustle and work ethic behind whatever you're doing, that whatever it is going to be successful. It could be whatever you choose, but I feel like you're somebody inspiring that is driven to use their passion for what they're gonna be living off of. And it's like you're betting on yourself. And I always say it on this show, that's the people I like to talk to and inspire me and help me become a better version of myself.
Bro,
So
without saying any names, I've had two large careers in my life prior to doing all this and picking up the camera. And at the end of my first career, I put 13 years into. And my second career, I think I put almost 5 years into. And I ended both of those feeling like all the work I did was not respected and just not appreciated and for nothing. And I refuse to feel that way about what I have to spend the majority of the hours of my day doing ever again.
that makes sense. Well, that's probably why you work so hard at what you do, man. And yeah, that's a good motivation force. And yeah, dude, what you got going on is going to be inspiring for the next generation as well. And I honestly like how much you're showcasing Hawaii dancers. I know that it needs a lot more light to be shined. And yeah, it's a community that's growing, and I wish it should, in my opinion, should be bigger than what it is now.
Well, luckily right now, especially because I've had so much going on with the AI stuff, and I haven't been able to be out and filming dance videos in the capacity that I would like. Luckily, stuff has really kicked off for everyone, and you got guys like Hijack, who, you know, he went overseas and he's been killing it everywhere outside of Hawaii. And he's such a great role model for all the kids here at home that, like, Hawaii is not short of any inspiration. Luckily now the phones are all better, so everyone can make dope social media content without necessarily even needing someone like me. But whenever I have the opportunity, you know, what I always try to do, like all the dance videos you see on my Instagram, I try to maintain enough like brand work and commercial work and keep like enough of my other business going. So if the dancers are dancers that I really like and I respect and I like what they do, I try never to charge anyone for a dance video.
That's awesome. Pretty soon you're gonna need AI to help you create more time for yourself, build another version of you.
Please.
Well, man, we've been going for about an hour, and I appreciate you taking time out to come talk to me. It's something that interests me, and I'm sure anybody watching this and will get inspired and learn a lot more about AI and understand how much work, effort, and time goes behind it. It's not just, like you said, someone using an app to make a cool video.
Yeah, man, no, it's a lot. And I think what I'll end off with, especially because like right now I know that the whole Hollywood strike is going on and AI is a large part of that conversation.
Yeah.
For stuff like that, I think that instead of getting mad at the technology, you got to get mad at the people that are choosing to use the technology in that way. Because let's face it, unless you're part of that top 1% of actors or whatever, like most actors aren't like most of them have other jobs too,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and it's the executives that are making the choices to kind of screw people over. And if it wasn't AI, it would be something else.
That's true. Yeah.
If it wasn't AI, it would be something else. But I really think that people, once people start really seeing the possibilities and how it could positively impact them and what they do, or maybe even allow them to follow, or even like just as a hobby, pick up some type of like creative thing that they have always been interested in, but maybe they just never thought they had the technical skills or like the ability to do. I think more people are really going to start to appreciate what it can do. And yeah, it's definitely not going anywhere. So
Yeah, that's for sure. Right
right
on,
on,
man.
man.
So where can people find you, watch your videos, or hit you up for information? Where can people access you?
Yeah, so my main platform is Instagram. You can find me at jboogx.creative. That's JBOOGX period creative. Same username on TikTok and same on YouTube. My plan for the next 12 months is to start actually creating long form content for myself and start putting real effort into the YouTube thing. Especially since I have literally all the equipment I need to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Instagram is the best way to reach me. I do have a website. It is www.jbcreative.studio. You can, but yeah, sending me a DM on Instagram is usually the best way to get a hold of me, because I spend so much time on the app, because that's literally where like all my business comes from right now.
Nice. And for us, it's the same. Our Instagram is Above the Bridge Podcasts. Our YouTube channel is Above the Bridge Podcast. Website, atbpod.com. And my personal Instagram is Thaddy Daddy High. Well, man, I am, like I said, I'm excited to see what you got coming out in the future. I hope you reach some goals in the next year or so. And yeah, I would love to chat with you again and get some more insight to what the new stuff is and what you got going on.
Yeah, man, let's run it back in 6 to 12 months.
Yep. Or we could just have AI do it for us.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not, because then it's taking your job.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, shakas for the cameras. Right on, bro. We're out. Shout out to the Artist Group Network. Aloha.